Joining me now from our Washington studio is David Gartenstein-Ross. He's a senior fellow at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies and adjunct assistant professor at Georgetown University Center for Security Studies. Thank you for coming on, David. How difficult a task is it to isolate and destroy IS? We heard what Chuck Hagel had to say.
Destroying IS is a very hard row to hoe. Now, there are other things, though, that make combating IS a little bit easier. It's an organization with a great deal of vulnerabilities. It's betrayed basically everybody who's trusted them. It's surrounded by enemies, including by the Iraqi military, the Kurds, Iran, the United States, Assad's regime, tribes, and also other insurgents who are now fighting against it. It's also caused its own members to commit a great deal of brutality, something which is probably causing some fissures within the organization. So rather than thinking of this as a mission to destroy IS, which suggests a very heavy hand, I think what we should try to do is stop their momentum, reverse it, and bring these vulnerabilities to the forefront.
That being said, though, David, it also seems to be able to recruit new members to its cause, and we saw that with the release of that horrific video of James Foley's execution. It clearly was a public relations exercise by IS to try and draw more followers.
Yeah, it's been able to recruit people to its cause, absolutely. IS knows social media very well, at least how to use social media. In the past, when militant organizations have, like IS, used a great deal of brutality, that's actually, in the longer term, played against them. I would actually draw an analogy to a previous incarnation of IS, Al-Qaeda in Iraq, under Abu Musab al-Zarqawi, which in the 2005 to 07 period was thought by many to have also eclipsed Al-Qaeda, the parent organization. But by 2010, this organization was basically dead, in large part because of its own brutality. And IS exceeds Al-Qaeda in Iraq in terms of the territory it holds, the money it controls, but it also succeeds it in terms of the raw brutality. And while that's drawing people to the cause now, while it has momentum, in the longer term, it could actually prove to be a deterrent and really an Achilles heel.
Okay, we have less than a minute, David, but someone is funding IS. What about trying to cut off the money at the source? Would that hurt the group?
It's funding itself to a large extent. It is able to sell oil. It controls oil fields. It taxes residents. In the past, it received money from some states in the region, but it's not clear that it still gets state support, as it's seen as being such an uncontrollable force.
It's also getting money from taking hostages and getting the ransom.
Yep, it sure is. And it holds probably upwards of 30 Western hostages today.
All right, David, thank you so much for your expertise. Appreciate it. David Gartenstein-Ross joining me today.